Greetings and salutations everyone. As you can now see, I live in a college dorm. At least you would be able to see it if I didn't have the green screen. Let me show you my setup. It's only a little bit messy, but that's not what we're talking about today, because you know what time it is? It's Kirby time! Kirby in the Forgotten Land is my favorite Kirby in the Forgotten Land game. The amazing gameplay, the slick graphics, mouthful mode. This game is just fun from beginning to end, so when we heard that we were getting a Switch 2 edition, I couldn't wait to try it out. Guess what? Let's first talk about the story and characters. A giant meteor crashes into the Forgotten Land. No! Kirby and gang go to investigate. New to the team is astronomer Waddle Dee. According to him, legend says that meteors have fallen on this planet before, with them bringing disaster. But if they collect enough stars, which rain down along with the meteor, they may be able to prevent catastrophe. So off we go on another Kirby adventure to gather the stars. The intro cutscene explaining all this is very to the point, including a lot of dialogue, which is kinda odd for a Kirby intro. But the fact that we're told a good amount of this information actually leaves me with more questions, which I think is rather interesting. What happened in the past when these meteors rained down? What evil are we preventing? It puts a lot more focus on the plot, which I can for sure appreciate. Also, look at Astronomer Waddle Dee. He's so cute with his little hat. Just look at him. And the stars are really awesome as well. They're surprisingly expressive with their emotions, even though they don't have a face. And of course, all the other characters and enemies have a ton of charm. That's just Kirby for you, honestly. The end of the game is very satisfying as well. Per usual, the final boss is climactic, action-packed goodness, with some lore revelations for the main game, i.e., it's a Kirby final boss. What did you expect? But of course, the main peas and pasta of this game is the gameplay. What? This DLC contains 12 new levels for you to play, and wow, did HAL Labs really step up their game. Every single level is based on one from the base game, but they all feel very unique because of their vastly different layouts and the new crystal gimmick, which creates new platforms as you interact with different parts of the stage. These areas also feel much more open than the base game. There, the game could kinda feel like just walking in a straight line without much deviation in the terrain or design. However, these new areas take you to places you really feel you shouldn't be in. Verticality especially plays a big role in this as you scale buildings, explore the shores of a frozen ocean, or even climb desert cliffs. This openness creates a feeling of grandness that makes the adventure feel that much more epic. And to complement the stage's bigger emphasis on verticality, HAL has introduced some great new mouthful modes. Spring Mouth is incredibly fun to use. It lets you jump high up in the sky and then just come crashing down on enemies, which feels awesome. Not only that, but you don't have to time your jumps with landing on the ground, unlike some other spring-like abilities in video games. The gear mouthful mode is fantastic as well. It allows you to cling to walls and jump off with them with great speed. This ability just feels amazing due to the momentum that you can build up and all the cool parkour you can pull off. And finally, there's the Sign Mouthful mode. This acts similar to the Glider Mouthful mode, where it locks you into a linear obstacle segment, but instead of flying, you're sliding across the ground. I honestly like this ability a lot more, as in addition to avoiding obstacles, you also have to platform well to both reach the end and find some secrets. While Gearmouth was my favorite among the three, all of these new mouthful modes are awesome to use, especially alongside the original ones, which are still here. They add some welcome gameplay variety while still remaining fun to control. Now, while the level design and new mouthful modes are awesome, something I am a bit disappointed by is the new enemies, because there aren't really any, except for the crystal monster that shoots meteors. I got it. That's what I'm gonna name my first kid! Most enemies and even mini-bosses are just starry versions of the base game enemies, which means they have slightly more health and a new attack or two. That's it. This might be more forgivable if there were a lot of new bosses, but there's only 2 new ones. The final boss and the boss at the end of the Final Cup ZEX. I will say that both of these bosses are excellent, but it's really disappointing that we didn't get more. This lack of enemy and boss variety isn't a deal breaker, but it's still upsetting nonetheless. There also aren't any new Treasure Road stages, which is pretty baffling. The new mouthful modes gave the perfect excuse to make more Treasure Road stages, and I would have loved to see more of them. Even with these couple of hiccups, Starcross World's levels are of extremely high quality. From beginning to end, every single level is super fun and exciting. Really, the main problem with Starcross World? is that there isn't more of it. Yeah, while this game, nor its DLC is as long as I'd like it to be, it's still an incredibly fun and polished experience. Now, we talked about the story and the gameplay. The only thing left to talk about is the feel. What do I mean by feel? Sound and visuals. Let's go with that for now. Now, the most obvious addition in the Switch 2 edition is the frame rate. Oh my goodness, this game is so much better at 60 FPS. Not to say that the Switch 1 version felt choppy or anything, not at all. But man, this just feels so much better. It's like comparing pizza without bacon to pizza with bacon. Once you have that one slice, you can never go back. You know what? No, I'm not gonna eat this. This has been sitting in my fridge for like days. I was gonna, take a bite out of it and say how disgusting it is, but like, it's a rock. I'm just gonna throw it away. I don't know about you. Go on with the video. Now there's also a bump in the resolution, which is nice. Of course, graphics aren't everything, said every Nintendo fan ever. Art style, personally speaking, is far more important to the game. And if that's the metric we're judging the game on, oh yeah, it rocks! This game has phenomenal art direction. The world looks fully realized with very realistic looking environments. Yet they managed to make the more cartoony Kirby enemies fit right alongside it. It's clear that the team spent a lot of time creating this world. Most of the world is crystallized in this DLC as well, and the sparkle and shine effect they apply to crystallized structures looks amazing. Not only that, but it helps tile these areas together color-wise, as you can find all different shades of blue just about everywhere, whether it's in the ocean or on a volcano. As far as looks are concerned, Star-Crossed World looks amazing. The textures, the effects, the art, it all comes together to make an already good-looking game look even better. And then we come to the true highlight of this game, the music. Oh yeah! Kirby music has always been great, but I still managed to be blown away by the music in this game. Most of it is remixes from the base game, but even with these old tracks, they managed to make incredibly unique sounding music. I especially love this track. It perfectly captures the sense of adventure you feel in the game, as do many of the others. You have smooth jazz, rock music, electronic music, and even classical styles thrown in here. Makes each track not only unique, but also perfectly fits each area as well. The soundtrack just puts me in a good mood. This whole game puts me in a good mood, from the smooth gameplay, to the sublime music, to even the mysterious plot. This game is just enchanting from beginning to end. I mean, it's a Kirby game, what do you expect? In conclusion, I don't just like Star-Crossed World, I love it. This expansion takes one of my favorite games, makes it look so much better, and adds a bunch of new stuff to it. My only real complaint about this expansion is the fact that there isn't more of it. With a little more enemy variety, a couple new bosses, and maybe some more challenge stages, this expansion would be near perfect. But as is, I'd say this upgrade pack is a 6 out of 7. I would highly recommend it to anyone who already owns Kirby in the Forgotten Land. And if you haven't gotten Kirby in the Forgotten Land already, the only thing I'd warn you about before buying is the fact that this game isn't super long, as I've been stating for the past 5 minutes. However, this is a super fun and super polished experience, so if you're okay with the game being a little short, I would still definitely recommend it. So I'm going to give the Switch 2 edition a 6 out of 7 as well. Oh yeah, quick note by editor Uriah here, I've been kind of flip-flopping back and forth between using a 7-point and 10-point scale. I think I'm going to stick with the 10-point scale though. So by 6 out of 7, that translates to a 9 out of 10. That's what I'd give this game. Well, I guess that's the end of this video. I put a lot more effort into this one, mainly the fact that I wrote a lot more of a detailed script. I'm actually Actually pretty proud of that one. And like and subscribe and stuff. Yeah, that's it.